Hey guys, Bert Martinez here, and I wanted to talk to you about why. This actually might be one of the most important videos that you watch this year, and I mean no hyperbole by that, okay? I'm not trying to hype it up or, I'm not here to sell you anything, so it's nothing like that, but it's important to know why we do what we do. So, let me ask you a question. Why is it that you do what you do? It's probably the most important question I can ask you. Why do you do what you do? I mean, we do, as humans, we do some crazy stuff. Here's a great picture of somebody who is using his throat right here. That's amazing. That's a metal spear. And he's using just the fleshy part of his throat. I've done this with an arrow. Some of you guys probably have too. But look how that's bending. That's a lot thicker than an arrow. I mean, that is some serious stuff there, right? So why do we do what we do? And I want to talk to you about this because I think it's extremely important to figure this out as far as your marketing goes. Let me explain to you what I mean by that. All right? So there's this company, it's called Creative Technology, and they're well known for creating sound systems for our PCs. That's really what made them wealthy and famous, for lack of better terms. Again, Creative Technology was also famous for introducing MP3 players into the marketplace, right? Well, let me kind of retract that. They weren't as famous as, Apple, but they were the ones who introduced the MP3 player market, okay? Now, they did it incorrectly. The difference between this gizmo and this gizmo, or these gizmos, it isn't that they're that much different. They all hold a bunch of music, right? But it's their why. Okay? So if you have a really big enough why, if you really have a strong reason, then you can sell a bunch of these and you won't sell very many of these, even though they're slightly the same thing. So here's the difference. When Creative Technology came out with their device was marketed as the multi-gigabyte portable hard drive music player. A lot of people didn't get that. All right? Think about it. Before MP3s, most of us listened to our music in our home, in our cars, and I think some of you guys might remember this thing called the Walkman, and then later on Sony introduced the Discman. But you were limited to how many CDs or tapes you could carry with you. Now, if you remember back in the day when Apple introduced their first iPod, they didn't say anything about the technology. Remember the guy that started talking about having like 1,000 songs in his pocket?
iPod, 1,000 songs in your pocket.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. 1,000 songs in your pocket. Right? Isn't that amazing? They didn't mention anything about the gigabytes or the features or the technology or the wizardry or anything. The simple why, the massive why, the huge benefit. 1,000 songs in your pocket. Forever changing the music industry. Remember, prior to that, we used to buy these things called CDs. And then prior to that, we used to buy these things called albums. And then iTunes with iPod. And we started collecting songs because the why was so obvious, right? It's not what, but the why you do it. So when you're talking to your audience, when you're talking to your customers, to your employees, to your spouse, think about the why, all right? I mean, why gets it done. Next time you're drafting a marketing message, think about the why. Why? Okay? Think about why you do what you do. Why is your business in business? Why? It's probably the most important thing that you can do for yourself, your employees, your customers, your families, anybody. It's all about the why. And if you can figure out why customers should do business with you, you'll get more customers to do business with you and grow a following, a loyal following, right? Because it's ultimately what we want. We want that Apple-like cult to follow us, to be part of our business. And it comes with that defining why. So why do you do what you do, and why should your customers buy it? The difference between somebody and their why. If somebody wants to lose weight or get in shape, and their why is they want to fit into that wedding dress, they want to look good for a class reunion, or maybe a social event, they'll lose the weight, they'll get in shape for 30 or 90 days, and then when the event's over, they go back to their lifestyle, right? However, if their why is big enough and they want to have a healthier quality of life, they want to have more energy, they want to be able to, play full out for as long as they can, then their chances of having a long-term workout system, program is going to go, right through the roof, right? The chances of them, let's say, getting in shape and staying in shape are going to happen because they have a big enough why. So think about that. And again, thank you so much for being a member of my list. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I appreciate your questions, and I appreciate you guys interacting with me, and I appreciate you guys very much for being on my list. Remember, you were created to succeed.